Yeah, Monday. What's up, everybody? Monday morning. Welcome to today's edition of the Daily Market Commentary. I'm your host, Chuck Fulkerson. I hope everybody had a great weekend as we're about ready to kick off what we do each and every day, identifying 10 to 12 futures markets from an educational perspective, looking for both breakouts and reversal trades. Real quick announcement, something that a lot of people have been asking me for, starting on Wednesday, July 1st. That's right, Wednesday, July 1st, we're going to be doing a live daily market commentary. So every Wednesday, 7 a.m. Central. So 7 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 a.m. Pacific. We're going to do a live daily market commentary so that you can come in and ask questions. That's going to be on our YouTube channel. So youtube.com/tradersarmy, youtube.com/tradersarmy, a live daily market commentary starting Wednesday, July 1st at 7 a.m. So feel free to join us. All right, let's go ahead and dive into today's markets. So on today's markets, we are up about 8 points in the S&P. Now, interestingly enough, we gapped down last night in the overnight and immediately traded up. And one of the levels we looked at for a potential reversal last night was this area right up in here. And we did get a decent little move away. Now, we looked at it on a 15-minute chart, and that 15-minute chart gave us this little move away right in here. And so if you grabbed that one last night, you got a few points out of it, not a ton. Was good for about 15 points or so, about a 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio on that one. But we traded halfway into it, moved out of it. We've hit it again, kind of moving. So now it looks actually like it may be a potential breakout to the upside in the way that we're kind of chopping sideways. So look to see if we get a breakout above here for price to trade into our next supply area. Now, this next supply area, we've got two of them, one on top of the other. This is a 15-minute level, which is a fair price value zone off of some of these levels. And I will say, last night in the class, we had a couple of members that identified this level for us. That said, because I was not looking at that one. I was on the hourly chart. And on the hourly chart, I look at the level above, which is this very clean wick over wick area. So you have two levels up above for potential reversal points. Now, why am I looking for supply? The reason I'm looking for supply is that my 4-hour trend is down. I've got lower swing lows and lower swing highs, very clear lower swing lows and lower swing highs. Now, can that be broken? Absolutely it can. But until it is, I'm going to look for some of these short opportunities. And we had a pretty good week last week looking and getting short at the right time. We're going to try to do the same this week as well. Moving over to the Russell. In our Russell position, we have a little bit of a supply area that we're coming into right now. We talked about this little 15-minute level. We came very close to it in the overnights, and we're unable to get filled. And by coming that close to it, we now need to switch to a confirmation entry. Those are our rules. Is that if you come close to a level and don't get filled, you switch to a confirmation entry. Unfortunately, this one now I've got some basing right here, so it makes it a slightly lower probability entry anyway. So even if you do want to take it, you've got to have a confirmation entry on this one. Looking at the Nasdaq, we had this level last night, came close to it, didn't get in, moved away. So I'm actually going to remove this level altogether because I think that there's room for price to make it up to some of these supply levels up above us. This is obviously a 15-minute zone done on a purple time, this because of this little level right in here. Next, moving over to crude oil. So in crude, we had talked about this as a potential breakdown point. It's still in my mind a breakdown point if we get the basing inside of this region. Without the basing, it's a useless breakdown. We do have a little level up here where we could see a bit of a reversal, but I would look at a candle-to-candle trade. We're actually getting a pretty good candle-to-candle setup as of now, and we could go candle-to-candle out of this region in here if we get a candle with a lower low and just move your stop on a regular basis. Next, gold. So in looking here at gold, we have a breakout line above 1796, provided we get the quality basing. We did gap up in the overnight, but then it kind of has just been chopping around ever since. So our demand levels below us is this unbalanced wick over wick and then this balanced wick over wick here on the 15-minute chart. So very small time frame, so just be aware of each of those. Moving to bonds and currencies, not a whole lot was in our bonds and currency markets. Matter of fact, in our bonds and currency markets, we had looked at the ZN, a potential area down below us right in here in case there's a bit of a return back to this region for price to rally up. In the Aussie, a breakdown below 68.43, provided that we get the basing, but not a whole lot has occurred here. since we looked at it last night. Frankly, almost nothing. The euro actually gained a little bit of strength in the overnight. So the euro rallied up. We came close to getting in right here and then moved away. So what are our rules when we get close to getting in and then move away? It's to switch to a confirmation entry. Now, if you didn't switch to a confirmation entry, technically on this one, your stop would have to be right up in here, so you probably just got a little bit of a stop out. I still think that there's a chance for price to reverse up at these regions up here. So keep an eye on this one going forward. I will say that you know, from the Globex move up last night, you've got the origin of that move here as a potential demand area. Right back in here. Canadian dollar, we're actually seeing, you know, I still think that the better chances are on the 4 hour that it breaks down. But on the small time frame, you know, we're getting a little bit of basing here. We could pop above there for a little bit of a run. So keep an eye on that one today for a little bit of a breakout to the upside. Great British Pound. The pound actually popped into our supply level and reversed a little bit off of our supply area. Let me get rid of this drawing. Hit the wrong button there. Okay, so in this little wick over wick, our stop has to go up in here. So yeah, we came above the area, but we didn't come above the area enough there. And then if I look at my 6 candle rule, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, after 6 candles, we were right here. So at this point, because after 6 candles, your price had gone basically nowhere, you take your stop, you move it to break even. And that gives you, locks you in a free trade. I would say at this point it's okay to take your stop and move it to right here because you're starting to see some buying pressure coming into these candlesticks. Lock in some of that profit. It's at least a 2-to-1 reward or risk, so that one in the overnight did work out okay for a little bit of a move. On the retest, you might actually have an opportunity up here on the retest at one of these levels. I don't necessarily want to take the whole pivot. I would probably say this area right here would be where I would look for on the retest on this 15-minute zone. And the reason I don't want to take that whole pivot area is because we know that it's the retest of a prior level because we took the short off of this level. But then this little area in here, because of these lower wicks, we dropped, rallied, and then based, and then dropped again. So that might be a decent little level, and it's, you know, at a pretty good time of day. And then Japanese yen, we're between our areas of demand and supply. Same thing we talk about is let's don't force it if we don't have to. So remember, Wednesday morning, 7 a.m., we're going to do our live daily market commentary. Please join us. It'll just be at YouTube.com/TradersArmy to catch our live session. I look forward to seeing you there. Have a great day. See ya.